Sonya was married. She and Jason had been together for 15 years. They met at the University of Virginia. She was a senior and he was a sophomore. She dominated him right from the start. And while they loved each other, Sonya was unfaithful from the start. She cheated on Jason with the star linebacker on the football team. She didn't even try to be discreet. Jason wouldn't leave her, and she wouldn't let Jason leave. After college, Sonya didn't have access to men the way she did as a college student. She went to work for a tech firm in Richmond. Her life became somewhat monotonous. Work, home, rinse, repeat. Not only that her friends were now married, and she too wanted to be married. While out in the world, she strung Jason along. His senior year, Jason was a big man on campus. He dated a number of beautiful young women. Sonya couldn't stand it. She went to campus every weekend determined to keep Jason to herself. And after he graduated, she proposed to him. Tony was married. He had been with his wife for 8 years. Tony loved his wife, but he had never been faithful. He lived for the hunt. And after he had his prey, he would move on. Why did he stay married? Probably because his wife was extremely docile. She let him get away with his garbage, kept the house spotless, and catered to Tony's every whim. Did she know she was married to a dog? Of course. But to some people, the dog that you know is better than the dog you don't. She had thought about leaving him numerous times, but just couldn't fathom the idea of dating or being alone. Tony and Sonya's affair was 3 months old. They met at the Jasper. Both were at the bar after work. Tony was on the prowl and Sonya wanted to be hunted. Their eyes met and Tony knew he had her. The rest, as they say, is history. They had been weaving elaborate stories of away on business meetings to carve out time together. Though the frequency of their rendezvous had increased, Sonya had become bolder in her exploits. She stood by the front door, pulling on her floral summer dress, adjusting the supporting bra. Her makeup was immaculate, and she was wearing her best perfume. Her husband, Jason, was suspicious. She has on her best perfume, wearing her little summer dress, and she's wearing makeup. She can't possibly going to work. Sonya didn't care about his suspicions. She felt like she did back in college. She was in control. She was going to see who she wanted to see. She was going to experience who she wanted to experience. And there was nothing that Jason or anyone else could do to stop her.
I'm off, honey.
Sonya called out, her voice a practiced blend of professional haste and affection.
Big presentation this morning downtown. Then meetings all afternoon. I'll grab a late takeout dinner and try to be back before 9.
Jason, sitting at the kitchen table, simply grunted in response. Sonya grabbed her handbag and slipped out. Jason thought to himself, how much longer are you going to sit here and take this? How much longer are you going to play the simp? You know she's up to something. Worse yet, you know she's been under someone else. You've got to get to the bottom of this. But then, what will you do when you catch her? Are you going to take it like you did in college, or are you going to divorce her? He sat there for a few more minutes. Then he made a decision that would change his life. He decided to follow her. The holidays were over, and a quiet stillness had settled over the town. Sonya walked into a small cafe, feeling a little nervous. She found Tony sitting at a corner table. He smiled up at her as she approached. You look gorgeous, Tony said. She slid into the chair opposite him, a slight blush coloring her cheeks. The atmosphere quickly shifted when Tony noticed a man at a nearby table couldn't keep his eyes off Sonya. Tony whispered an adventurous idea to her. It shocked her at first, but after a moment's thought, it brought a mischievous smile to her face. It seemed like harmless, exciting fun. She went to the washroom and returned shortly. As she sat down, she allowed her dress to rise mid-thigh. The man at the nearby table was turning red. She positioned herself to give him a better look. The show was having an effect on Sonya too. Doing this in front of Tony increased her excitement level. The man at the other table couldn't control his gaze, and his wife caught him. When she looked over and saw Sonya giving her husband a show, she grabbed him by the arm, and they left the coffee shop. As soon as the couple left, Tony and Sonya began to laugh uncontrollably.
That was so much fun. I could never do anything like that with Jason. But now I have a problem. I'm aching for you.
They finished their coffee and hurried out the door, hand in hand. You would think they would be concerned that someone might see them and recognize the fact that they are hand in hand with someone other than their spouse, but they didn't care. Tony was a dog, and Sonya thought that Jason was the same Jason that she had always dominated. So if she got caught, she'd just lay down the law for him like she did when they were in college. Tony had reserved a room for them at the New Jeffersonian Hotel. They walked in the hotel hand in hand, checked in, and Tony led Sonya to their room. And once they were inside, he pulled her into a warm embrace. Their breathing returned to normal as she rested against him, listening to his heartbeat. Their lips met in a tender kiss that grew in passion. She shed her dress, standing before him, radiating confidence and beauty. Tony's whispered compliment.
My God, you are a gorgeous woman. Affirmed this new sense of self.
The deep connection they shared led to a period of intense, shared passion, where they explored the depth of their feelings for one another and the new, exhilarating connection they had discovered. The physical exploration continued, leading Sonya to a spectacular arrival of pleasure. The tension eased, and they lay together. Suddenly, Tony's phone buzzed aggressively. He glanced at the screen. His wife's name flashed on the display. His heart seized with a very brief, sharp pang of grief and guilt for the lie that had brought him here. He let the call go to voicemail. Taking a deep breath, he quickly placed the phone face down, pushing the guilt away to focus on the woman beside him. He wrapped an arm around Sonya, ready to fully enjoy the adventure that was far from over. Sonya rolled onto her knees, straddling his chest, then moved to an exposed position, whispering a request for the next adventurous turn. Their passion continued to escalate, leading Sonya to another spectacular arrival. Tony collapsed onto the bed. Sonya curled up beside him. Sonya slept hard. When she awoke, she found Tony in the shower and joined him, sharing a moment of deep tenderness. Tony then introduced a playful element, a blindfold and light, gentle restraints. The only rule was the safe word, Mustang. Her heightened senses made the experience thrilling. He used soft touches and cold sensations to create moments of intense pleasure and closeness. The day culminated in a final, powerful moment of shared release. Sonya quietly showered and dressed. Tony was feeling an empowered confidence. She pecked Tony softly on the back and exited the room. Her legs were wobbly, but her spirit was light. It was late when Sonya arrived home, walking into her living room with a confident, satisfied smile. Her husband, Jason, was sitting on the couch. The light was low, and his expression was serious. "Where have you been?" Jason asked, his voice low and firm. Sonya's smile vanished.
I said I had a late meeting.
She began to stutter. Jason cut her off with a decisive, painful finality. "Never mind," he said. "I know where you've been and with whom. Do you know why? I followed you all weekend long,